Hey everyone, Julian here, and today I'm going to show you how to take your chords from something like this to this. Now, before we dive in, I have a MIDI pack in the description. You can pick it up for free. It's just got a few different MIDI files so you can play around with some of these techniques. And yeah, here we go. So, the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to all of this stuff is sort of like voicing, because this is what's really going to like make your piano chords and your chords in general stand out. So what I mean by voicing is I'm sort of talking about like the way you arrange the voices of your chords. So, if you look at all of these chords, they're just major and minor triads. We just have a first, a third, and then the fifth. And yeah, that's pretty much how all of these work. Now, if we can spread these across the keyboard in kind of like a nice way, we can get some pretty big sounding chords. So the first thing I like to do to just get started is usually I'll take the root note and of all the chords and just kind of put it down an octave. So let's select those. And there we go. And then once I do that, I will usually also double up the fifth. So I'll just grab these root notes and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there we go. You can hear like the low end is pretty solid now. Essentially we have the first sort of like just really giving that strong root, and then the fifth is always just gonna sort of work with the first or the root note to just kind of solidify what that is saying. So I think what I'm also going to do here, and what I also usually do in this case, is I'm going to take the root notes and double them up another octave down, just to like really solidify that bass. And this is what you want to be thinking about while you're doing this, is like, what is sort of the goal of each step here? Like, for example, the goal of adding this root note and then the one that's an octave up and then the fifth was, like I said, to sort of solidify that part of the chord. Like, we're trying to just really set that in stone. So yeah, so if you just kind of keep that stuff in mind, it's really not too difficult. But let's hear what that sounds like. Alright, there we go. So the low end you can hear is quite solid. Yeah, it just sounds really good. So then the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab the thirds. And the thirds are these notes. They're typically like the middle note if you just have a triad. And what we're going to do is we're going to take those and we're going to put them up an octave. So you can hear, that sounds pretty solid now. What this is essentially doing is adding a bit of high end. Like if I turn this off real quick. That's cool, but we need some kind of high end to balance out all the powerful low end. So now that we've done that, I'm going to double these up another octave actually. And yeah, there we go. So we have some pretty solid, well-voiced chords here. Like, they're spanning across a lot of the keyboard. Obviously not the whole thing, but they're spanning across quite a bit of the keyboard. You know, it's very full. They're very just like, they really sound solid now. And like you can hear, this isn't even the best piano sound. This is just Ableton's grand piano. So I mean, definitely, you know, there are better pianos out there, but just from doing what I did here, we were already able to get like a pretty good sound out of it. So this is something that I wanted to touch on with this video. Like, you'd really be surprised, like with your pianos and I mean other sounds as well, because this isn't just about piano chords, but like in general, you'd really be surprised what voicing your chords and like really spanning them out across the keyboard can do for making like sounds that aren't necessarily the best sound better. So yeah, so that's gonna be it for this one. You know, like I said, I just want to make a quick video showing you sort of some tricks and tips, or some tips and tricks that you could use to sort of just make your chords sound a little bit stronger. So like I said, you can get these MIDI files with this video for free. Make sure to check that out in the description. And yeah, thank you again, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow with another tutorial.